Why did Valve just drop a $1,050 gaming box that gets completely smoked by a cheaper, custom-built PC? That is the massive mystery tearing through the hardware community right now. We are going to break down exactly what Valve is trying to pull off here, and by the end of this explainer, you're going to understand the brilliant hidden strategy behind this controversial little cube. Okay, let's just address the elephant in the room right up front, the sticker shock. The base 512GB model starts at an eye-watering $1,050. And if you want the 2TB version, you're looking at a staggering $1,350. Now, a huge chunk of this pricing is being heavily inflated by what industry analysts call the AI bubble, which has driven the global cost of RAM and SSD storage straight through the roof. Valve doesn't have a magic stockpile of cheap parts, so they have to pass that inflated market cost directly onto you. But even factoring that in, it's undeniably a massive premium. So that begs the crucial question, what is this machine actually doing differently to justify that kind of cash? We have to look past the raw cost for a second and examine the specific conveniences this tiny 6x6-inch cube is actually bringing to your living room. Because what Valve built here, it isn't designed to win a pure horsepower race. Section 1, the $1,000 mystery. Section 2, the magic of SteamOS. Look, this isn't just a regular desktop computer forcefully shoved into a smaller box. It's a highly engineered console-like appliance designed to totally eliminate the headache of PC gaming. To really grasp the price tag, we have to look at the radical simplicity of its operating system. SteamOS is a custom-built environment completely obsessed with getting you into your games as fast as humanly possible. Check out this brilliantly simple workflow. Step 1, press a button on your controller. Step 2, play your game. Literally, that's it. It uses this tech called HDMI CEC, which is basically a magic wand for your living room. You press the button, and the Steam machine automatically wakes up your TV, switches to the correct input, and throws you right into the action. No keyboards, no fumbling with multiple remotes, no tiny desktop menus. Just think about a normal Windows PC in the living room for a second. It's jarring, right? It's bloated, and you're constantly getting interrupted by background updates and pop-ups. But SteamOS gives you this flawless, console-style suspend and resume magic. You can pause a demanding game, put the entire system to sleep, go make dinner, come back, and resume exactly where you left off, just 5 seconds later. And that illustrates the ultimate goal here, radical convenience. Valve completely pre-tuned the fan curves, the power management, and all the graphical settings for this specific hardware configuration. They've surgically removed all the friction of traditional PC gaming, leaving you with an experience that feels 100% identical to a dedicated console. Section 3, DIY versus the machine. Now, I know exactly what the tech enthusiasts are screaming right now. Just skip Valve's box and build a custom PC instead. Well, let's compare them directly. Sure, a DIY PC built for the same price will absolutely give you higher raw frames per second, but it's also going to be a bulky, power-hungry space heater. The Steam machine is this impossible-to-replicate little 6x6-inch cube running on an ultra-low 30-watt CPU limit, meaning it operates whisper-quiet even under heavy gaming loads. You are actively trading raw graphical power for an unmatched form factor and near-silent operation. And honestly, the whole financial savings of building it yourself, it's kind of an illusion right now. Independent hardware reviewers tried meticulously sourcing parts to build a comparably spec'd DIY clone, and they only saved about $71. This reveals something super critical. Valve isn't just blindly price gouging you. The current market for RAM and SSDs is just terrible for everyone. Try building this yourself today, and you'll slam into the exact same inflated component costs. Section 4, the price of convenience. Instead of comparing it to a custom PC, let's look at traditional consoles like the PlayStation 5. While the PS5 is significantly cheaper up front, the Steam machine actually saves you serious money over the long haul. See, in a closed console ecosystem, you're trapped. You're forced into paying brutal yearly multiplayer subscriptions, which can cost around $110 every single year just to play online with your friends. Plus, you're locked into buying their specific expensive accessories. But in the open PC ecosystem on the Steam machine, multiplayer is entirely free. You have infinite choices for headsets and controllers, and you aren't restricted to just one single storefront. Valve's entire design philosophy is anchored by this really revealing quote. They said, "We think of Steam Machine as an extension of PC gaming, not as a console. Who are we to tell you how to use your computer?" They fundamentally refuse to sell hardware at a massive loss just to trap gamers inside a walled garden where they can nickel and dime them on subscriptions later. They are selling you an open PC, plain and simple. Section 5, Valve's Linux Master Plan. Because here is the real secret. This isn't just a cute little cube for your TV, it's a brilliant Trojan horse strategy aimed at the very foundation of the gaming industry. The core of this master plan relies on a software marvel called Proton. Think of Proton as a master real-time translator. Your game speaks Windows, but the Steam machine speaks Linux. Proton sits right between them and flawlessly translates every single line of code so fast that the game doesn't even realize it's running on Linux. This is exactly what makes it possible to ditch Microsoft entirely without losing access to your massive Steam library. So why does all this matter to you? Because every single Steam machine sold pushes the entire industry toward a flexible, open-source future. It normalizes Linux for the average consumer. It actively breaks the Windows gaming monopoly. It proves that an open PC can function as a seamless living room console. And with Valve actively working on upcoming NVIDIA driver support, this ecosystem is only going to get stronger. Valve is literally fighting to ensure that you actually own the hardware you pay for. Section 6, the benchmark breakdown. All right, for all the hardcore tech enthusiasts who stayed with us, it's time to dive into the raw, granular benchmarks and hardware limitations. Inside, we are looking at semi-custom AMD internals, a 6-core Zen 4 CPU, an RDNA 3 graphics unit with 28 compute units and 8 gigs of VRAM, all paired with 16 gigabytes of super-fast DDR5 RAM. But here is the massive catch. To keep this cube dead silent in your living room, Valve severely choked the power draw. That CPU operates on a strict 30-watt limit. And when you throttle power that aggressively to eliminate fan noise, you inevitably create a serious performance bottleneck. And we can see that bottleneck directly in the graphical data. In rigorous 1080p benchmark testing, the Steam machine actually performs closest to older desktop hardware, like the RTX 3060 or the RX 6600. It consistently falls short of modern budget cards like the RX 7600. So while the software optimization is incredible, the raw frame generation is mathematically capped by that hard power limit. Which brings us to a rather painful truth about Valve's 4K marketing claims. To achieve those advertised numbers and heavy titles, the machine relies really heavily on extreme FSR upscaling. It's the software trick that attempts to stretch a native 720p image to fit a massive 4K screen. In demanding AAA games, this results in a visual presentation that just looks muddy, soft, and pretty smeared. So let's make these technical realities impossible to misunderstand, so you know exactly what kind of graphical compromises you're going into here. Advanced lighting tech like ray tracing? Functionally a non-starter. Turning it on in Cyberpunk absolutely tanks the system to an unplayable 15 frames per second. On the flip side, this machine is an absolute dream for 2D and indie games, easily blasting past 250 frames per second. But for heavy, modern 3D blockbusters, you absolutely must expect to play on medium or low settings at a native 1080p resolution. So the final question you have to answer is this. Is that flawless, console-like suspend and resume experience, combined with Valve's fight for a truly open PC ecosystem, enough to justify $1,050? Are you willing to sacrifice top-tier graphical horsepower for dead silent, frictionless convenience right in your living room? Well, that is the true mystery of the Steam machine.
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe and hit the bell to the latest update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end, and see you in the next video.